So, what can they bring?
Oh, they've talked, someone's late.
It's time to go, Ian.
Come on, Liam.
Are you buying the round, mate? Is that you?
110, that's about 15 beers, mate.
They say you've, quote, lost a bit of your aura, pushed the laws and the line out. Is that just usual fodder?
Well, when we say they say, I think a young winger who just played his first test said that, so maybe he was a little bit misquoted, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
what's the extent of Anton's knee knock?
Has a slight medial strain. Happened near the end of the game. It didn't seem that bad, but Sunday, Monday, it really showed itself. So, but pretty minor.
Was it pretty straightforward to just put that guy in the 13 jersey?
Yep, yeah, it was. I'm delighted with Rico at the moment, and so it forced our hand with a change. It's fair to say I think I was pretty happy to put Anton out there again and to keep that combination going after last week. But these things happen, but Rico's in a great spot.
Posy, the fact that you've more or less left your team intact, the injury shuffled, does that indicate that you saw enough from them last week to give them another crack this week, and you feel you'll get some growth?
Oh, we need growth, and so I think the best way to get growth at this stage of the season is to keep developing the combinations. And there's a lot of lessons got from last week, and whilst there's a lot been said about the things that didn't go well, there were a lot of things that did go well, and we've got to make sure we enhance those opportunities again.
Mate, after a false start last week, didn't get a run because of the little injury tweak. How keen and what's the key to you to doing yourself justice out there? So
yeah, pretty excited to be fair. It was reasonably frustrating not being able to play last week, but in hindsight it was probably the right decision from Forwards just to give the hamstring another week to be right. And I think the key for me is just around probably not being too keen to go out there and try to do it all right out of the gate, just sort of stay within my role, and I guess having a high work rate is something I like to do, so I'll try to sniff around and find a few touches, but within that just stay within the system and do the basics well.
Jordie, you're obviously on the field for the latter part of the game. When you came on, just from your point of view, what did you sense, like sort of where kind of things went wrong for you guys at the latter half?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess you guys all know the discipline throughout that whole game wasn't flash, and in that last quarter of the game it was much the same as what happened before that. And you can't give a side like Australia opportunities to kick down inside your 22, and we defended for about 20 minutes, and that's not what you want to do in test matches. And we've been working on a lot of that and reasons why throughout the week, and I'm sure we won't make the same mistake twice.
Jordie, what's the art of being a good bench player at this level of rugby? What's the key to it, the secret, if you like?
I'm still searching for that secret, like a lot of people. It's I guess the role of the impact boys has come on, and the other 15 or the guys still on the field is to try and feel that energy and I guess second wind. It's got to maintain patience. It's pretty easy to go on there and look for a lot of things and just forget about what's in front of you. Our bench boys have had a lot of work this week, and how we can imprint our mark on the game, and it's something we're looking forward to this week. And it's a great opportunity to move from last week.
Ian, TJ was originally going to make his return via NPC, but obviously he's straight back into the team this week after Finlay's injury. What's behind sort of the decision to move him into the reserve role over Craig?
Well, first of all, it's not TJ's fault he didn't play last week, really. It was a disappointing thing with Finlay's injury, and the plan was to give him a couple of weeks in our environment and maybe hopefully playing for Wellington. That part didn't eventuate, but I think it's just a chance to get him back involved, and so it's that's more of a straight swap just to get TJ back in there and give him an opportunity to get back on the park. So certainly not an indictment on Brad at all, I'm pretty sure that competition will keep growing.
You've obviously got outstanding depth, second and back row. Was there much consideration about tinkering with those combinations, or was it very much about just maintaining the standards from last week?
Yeah, well, I guess the fact we've named the similar group gives you the answer, doesn't it? Is that we've gone with continuity of performance. I guess put pressure on this group to respond and give us more of a complete performance by having, gone through it, done some good things, but also, we've learned a bit through it. So, a bit of a believer in that. I think it's the right thing for this team right now. We've certainly, we've brought Scooter back in off the bench. He was a late withdrawal, so I guess there was a bit of a one game each for him and Paddy, but he'll bring a lot of experience too in that role. But we need to go forward. We're going to get a more committed Australian team, and we need to make sure that we're matching fire with fire there.
George, I think this is the fourth straight test the same front rows rolled out. Are you sort of developing quite a nice combo with those guys on and off the park?
Yeah, I mean, scrumming with Cody throughout Super Rugby made it a lot easier, but also learning how Nepo scrums as well on his side and what he wants from me. Grown a good connection there as well, and then also connecting with the boys on the bench as well, and our connections with our front row there as well. So, yeah, coming on nicely. Yeah.
Karl, we come around the same time as Tu'inukuafe. What's he bringing to the international game, and how do you match up against him just as a front row in general?
Matching up to...
Tu'inukuafe, he's obviously he's a specialist bench player, it seems, to the Wallabies. So what does he bring to the game as a fellow prop?
No, he brings a big impact for Australia, so I guess we just have to match it kind of thing. So anything that they can throw, we just have to throw bigger.
George, you've obviously been part of the environment for a wee while now, including last year. How are you feeling sort of in terms of comfort and being around all the players and management and stuff? You pretty used to it by now?
Yeah, I guess a bit more out of my shell, but not too comfortable. Still kind of on edge when I'm around the coaches or a bit of the senior players. So, definitely more out of my shell than I was when I first was with the team, which is good. And connecting with a lot more players this year, and those connections are growing as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Karl, what have you seen of George sort of, I guess, doing stuff just that, coming out of his shell?
Oh man, he's got a lot of skills, not just on the field but off the field. Like, the man can do it all: play piano, play the guitar, so like everything, not just on the field, because he's got a lot of skills on the field, but just as a person, he's opened up around the boys, and the boys are loving him. It's good to have him.
Is he helping you with your piano playing?
Yeah. Oh, he's next level. I gotta watch this guy.
He's got the keyboard, haven't you?
He's a bit of a baker as well. Has he cooked for you?
Oh no, I haven't heard that. I'll be keen to find that out though.
I've got kitchens up there, man. What's going on with the team?
Yeah, I haven't. Not a baker. Not a baker.
George, what are you? I mean, first sort of, I guess, prolonged run in Test rugby. How have you found it, and what are the adjustments been? Particularly, last week after your first Beldisloe, what?
Yeah, I guess for me, just the importance of the small margins with everything. When it's scrums or lineouts, and just how important those small margins are. They could be the difference. So it's just me learning that and how important everything around those small margins are. Kind of count towards the end result. So yeah.
And where do you think you can continue to grow your game and get better?
Well, it's always for me scrumming first. So still growing my scrumming art, the dark arts there, and growing my connections with the front row as well. And then. Probably still a bit of breakdown in defence that I need to work on. There's a few things that are just chipping away at. Yeah.